Shaykh al-Fawzan mentioned the point that sabr is of three categories, three types. What are the three types of sabr which are necessary? The first is sabr ala ta'a, patience upon obedience to Allah, patience upon the acts of obedience to Allah. Secondly, patience upon avoiding and keeping away from sins. And thirdly, sabr upon those painful things that Allah has decreed will occur to a person. So sabr upon the painful things that occur by Allah's pre-decree. Shaykh al-Fawzan also made an important point with regard to this surah, that Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah, he said this surah is sufficient for the people. If they pondered and reflected upon it, it would be sufficient. How did Shaykh al-Fawzan explain this, that this surah is sufficient? The Shaykh al-Fawzan explained that the meaning of this is that this surah will be sufficient. That doesn't mean that this surah is sufficient, that the people don't need any other surah or any other text of the book of the Sunnah. Rather, it means it's sufficient as an evidence upon the people. It's sufficient as an evidence against the people. That no one can come on the day of resurrection and find himself a wretched person and then say, but it was never explained to me that I would end up wretched. It was never explained to me how I could attain total happiness and bliss. It was never made clear to me. The Shaykh said, no one can say this when they have read this surah, had this surah presented to them. Because the surah explains, it's sufficient to explain, establish the proof upon the people, and to explain to them the way to achieve happiness, and the way to avoid wretchedness.